Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. We are joined by Bloomberg's Kriti Gupta. We got to go right to automotive stocks after the 25% tariff announcement. Kriti, good morning.
Good morning, Nathan. Yeah, the biggest mover to the downside is no surprise here. It's in the car making space. General Motors having a brutal day in terms of volume and a drop, trading just shy of $48 a share, down a whopping 7% this morning. And it's not alone. You are seeing pain across the board. I should say across the world, really. Name an automaker, and they are suffering in the stock market this morning. Ford is another great example, down about 3%, I think, is the number here. Trading at about $10 a share, but still dropping, Nathan, as we speak. We'll talk about another here, and that is Tesla, TSLA, also moving, but actually in positive territory, higher by 0.1%. I should mention in the pre-market, it was down almost 3% earlier in the session. So there is a little bit of buying the dip and pairing those losses as we go through. But keep in mind that Elon Musk over the last 24 hours has taken to his social media platform X as well and said that Tesla is going to get hit by those tariffs. There are no exemptions there. But some of the analyst community that I've spoken to has suggested that perhaps because Tesla does have the advantage, or at least has modeled their way in terms of the way they build their cars, where a lot of their commodities and raw materials aren't stretched across the globe. They're very local to the factories. Perhaps that could insulate them from as much damage as some of their other peers. So those are the three car makers to keep in mind. But Nathan, I should also mention, in Donald Trump's kind of announcements around auto tariffs for the rest of the world, he also tends to include pharmaceuticals. Now, he didn't give us the specifics of when it comes to what pharmaceutical tariffs may actually look like, but this is one that's really been quite on the radar in Europe. And that's where I look at Novo Nordisk, because about 60% of their revenue comes from one place, and that is the United States of America. NVO, or the ADRs there, trading about $71 a share in the U.S. pre-market, down about 2%. It's not often that we see pharmaceutical stocks, biotech broadly, and the auto sector trade in line. But because Donald Trump has talked about them going in hand, you are seeing that element in the market today. So again, NVO for the ADRs of Novo Nordisk down about 2%, trading just shy of $71 a barrel. There's a couple of others I want to bring to your attention, Nathan, because alongside the car makers, you're seeing a lot of pain in the chip makers as well. Now, AMD is getting the brunt of it this morning. It is down about 3%, trading at about $106 a share. This is coming after a downgrade over at Jefferies from a buy to a hold. Analysts citing limited traction in AI, among other negatives. We should also mention that over in China, there has been a list in the last 24 hours. It's kind of fell during the U.S. trading day as well, but a list of the United States really blacklisting some of the exports around chips. So just another list of names that came out during the U.S. session yesterday. So there's a continuation of the sell-off in the chip sector from yesterday's trade, Nathan.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.